We often think of the laws of physics as unbreakable boundaries, ironclad rules that define what is possible and what is merely a dream. But as we have seen today, nature doesn't view physics as a wall, it views it as a toolkit. From a supersonic snap of a shrimp's claw to the chemical pull just of a beetle, these physics breakers prove that evolution is the greatest engineer to ever exist. They remind us that speed doesn't isn't just about moving fast, it's about energy, precision, and the sheer audacity to survive in a world where the difference between a predator and prey is measured in nanoseconds. The next time you look at a tiny insect or a drifting jellyfish, remember beneath the fractured exterior might lie a weapon that's more powerful than a human-made rocket. Which of these biological speedsters shock you the most? What is the stunned hard punch of the monster scream or the gearlock leaf of the frog-gopher? Let us know in the comment below. If you enjoyed the deep dive into the high-speed mechanic of the wild, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to join our journey through the most extreme corner of our planet. Every click helps us bring more of this incredible story to life. Thanks for watching and stay curious. In our next expose, we are switching from speed to survival as we meet the immortal of the natural world, the creators that look dead in the eye and refuse to blink. We're counting down the top 7 venom-proof titans, while the world's deadliest toxins are just a snack. Until then, keep your eyes open because in nature, the fastest thing in the room is often the one you never see coming. In the sun-scorched grassland of the American West, a brutal evolutionary arms race has been raging for millions of years. On one side is the northern Pacific rattlesnake snake, an apex predator armed with heat-seeking teeth and a hemotoxic venom designed to liquefy tissue and shut down circulatory system within minutes. On the other side is the California ground squirrel, Octopamorpholus battery. At first glance, the squirrel appears to be typical, twitchy rodent, vulnerable, frantic, and designed to be a meal. But unless its unassuming exterior fool you, in the world about chemical warfare, the California ground squirrel is hardened veteran, a venom-proof titan that has turned the rattlesnake security's weapon into minor inconveniences. The first line of the squirrel defense is its internal chemistry. While a single bite from a rattlesnake would be death sentence for most mammals or similar size, the other California ground squirrel possesses a specialized protein in its blood serum. This protein acts as a certificated neutralizer, binding to the protease enzymes in the snake venom. Proteases are the meat-dissolving components of rattlesnake venom. By binding to them, the squirrel blast effectively handcuffs the toxin, preventing it from damaging tissue or causing systematic hemorrhaging. To a mature squirrel, a venomous strike is often no more dangerous than a common bee sting. It might experience a bit of swelling or localized pain, but the lethal chemical cascade is stopped cold in its track. However, the physics-breaking brilliance of this squirrel goes beyond its blood. Evolution has granted it a masterclass in psychological and sensory warfare. Rattlesnakes are vipers, meaning they see the world through infrared sensors located on their face. They detect the body heat of their prey with terrifying precision. The California ground squirrel has learned to hack this system. When a squirrel encounters a rattlesnake, it engages in tail flapping. It pumps extra blood into its tail, causing the temperature of the engaging to spike significantly. It then wags the tail aggressively. To the snake infrared vision, the squirrel suddenly transforms from a small rodent into a massive, posing his signature that looks far more intimidating and dangerous. It is a biological decoy, a thermal flare designed to make the snake think twice about attacking. The most disturbing and ingenious layer of the squirrel defense, however, is its use of scan masking. This is where biology meets espionage. Researchers have observed ground squirrel fighting the discarded shed skin of rattlesnake. The squirrel don't just inspect the skin, they chew it into a pulp and then meticulously lick the snake piece onto their own fur and the fur of their vulnerable pup. Because rattlesnakes rely heavily on their sense of smell, chemoreception, they to find prey in dark burrows. This behavior is a stroke of genius. By smelling exactly like a rattlesnake, the squirrel becomes invisible to the predator's primary tracking system. A snake entering a burrow might crawl right past a huddle of pups, thinking it has stumbled into the territory of another rattlesnake rather than a nursery of squirrels. The California grouse squirrel represents a pinnacle of adaptation. It hasn't just developed a shield against venom, it has developed a comprehensive counter-intelligence program. It neutralized the poisons, hacked the snake's thermal sensor, and wear the predator on scan as a camouflage cloak. This is the ultimate testament to the fact that in the wild, survival isn't just about who has the biggest fangs, it's about who has the best engineers. To the California grouse squirrel, the most feared predator in the desert isn't a monster, it's just another neighbor whose two have been thoroughly countered. In the arid landscapes of the American Southwest, the struggle for survival is often a battle over water and food. Most herbivores compete for the few safe plants available, but the wood rat Neotoma, also known as the pack rat, has claimed an entire ecological niche for itself by eating what everyone else considers poison. While other animals avoid the desert's more chemically defended flora, the wood rat sits atop a pile of toxin generally, munching on leaves that have essentially biological landmines. This venom-proof titan isn't just resistant to a single snake bite, it is a master of chronic dietary poisoning, possessing a liver that functions like a high-tech industrial refinery. The primary challenge for a wood rat is the grasshopper. This plant is legendary for its chemical defenses, coated in a thick, stinky resin known as non-dihydroguanidinic acid (NDGA) for most mammals. Consuming even a small amount of this resin leads to serious kidney damage, liver cast, and metabolic collapse. Yet, for certain populations of wood rat, creosote makes up nearly 80% of their diet. To any other creator, this would be a slow-motion suicide. To the wood rat, it's just today. The secret to this incredible feat of physics-breaking biology lies deep within the wood rat's internal organs. While most mammals have a general-purpose liver designed to filter common toxins, the wood rat has evolved a highly specialized set of liver enzymes, specifically from the cytochrome P450 family. These enzymes are precision engineered to identify and dismantle the specific molecular structures of desert toxin. When a wood rat swallows a leaf like with cyanide or toxin resins, its liver immediately goes to work, breaking the poison down into harmless, water-soluble byproducts and that are safely flushed out of the system. But the wood rat chemical processing plant is even more sophisticated than a simple filter. Research has shown that different populations of wood rat have specialized liver based on their local environment. A wood rat living among Jupiter trees has evolved enzymes to neutralize alpha-pinase, the toxin component of turpentines, while its cousin living field a few miles away in a closed field has a completely different and dramatic profile to handle NDGA. If you swap their diet, they struggle. Their liver are literally programmed by their habitat to be the ultimate desert climate. Furthermore, the wood rat has adapted its behavior to manage the toxin load. Even with its super liver, processing with this poison requires an immense amount of energy and water. To compensate, wood rats are highly selective, often nibbling on the edge of leaves where toxin concentrations are lower, or curing their food by storing in their middens nests for months. Over time, some of more volatile toxins evaporate, making the meal slightly safer to consume. The wood rat proved that being a titan isn't always about fighting giant snakes or surviving lethal sting. Sometimes it's about the quiet, internal war of attrition against the environment itself. By evolving a liver that outclasses modern laboratory equipment, the wood rat has turned a wasteland of poison into a private buffet. It is a creator that looks at a landscape of chemical warfare and sees only an endless supply of snacks. In the moonlit deserts of the Sonoran, most small mammals live in a state of constant terror, avoiding the Arizona bark scorpion, a predator whose neurotoxin sting is potent enough to kill a human child and cause excruciating, soul-shattering pain in any large animal. But the grasshopper mouse on e-commerce tourists doesn't hide, it doesn't flee, instead it stalks the scorpion like a tiny, fur-covered werewolf. This venom-proof titan is a biological anomaly. It is a carnivorous mouse that has achieved what modern medicine has struggled to do for decades. It has hacked the very nature of pain. The physics-breaking brilliance of the grasshopper mouse lies in its nervous system. To understand its power, we must look at how pain works. When a bark scorpion stings, its venom targets specialized protein in the nerve called sodium channels. Specifically, the venom activates a channel known as NAV1.7, which sends an immediate, high-intensity pain signal to the brain. In most mammals, this signal is so overwhelming it causes paralysis, shock, or cardiac arrest. The bark scorpion sting is designed to be the ultimate deterrent, a chemical scream that tells every predator to stay away. But the grasshopper mouse has a secret weapon. Through millions of years of predatory evolution, it has developed a mutation in the different sodium channel called NAV1.8. In the grasshopper mouse, the scorpion's venom doesn't just activate the pain channel, it actually binds to the NAV1.8 channel and shuts it down. This is the ultimate neurological judo move. In a normal animal, NAV1.7 sends a pain signal and NAV1.8 carries it into brain. In the grasshopper mouse, the venom effectively acts as a lead, closing the gate. The more the mouse is stung, the more painkiller is pumped into its system. Researchers have observed this mice being stung repeatedly in the face and paws, attacking that would leave a human screaming in agony, and the mouse simply paused for a second to comb its fur before going back to eating the scorpion alive. It had turned its enemy's greatest weapon into a localized anesthetic. But the grasshopper mouse isn't just a pain hiker, it's a tactical warrior. It is highly aggressive and territorial, known for standing on its hind legs and letting out a high-pitched howl to climb its dangerous domain, a behavior that has earned its nickname, the werewolf mouse. It utilizes its immunity to hunt not just scorpions, but venomous centipedes and even other mice. But it doesn't feel the direction of a sting. It can attack with a level of ferocity that is unmatched for its size. The grasshopper mouse proved that in the world of the Venomous-proof Titans, the greatest strength is often found within the wiring of the brain. It hasn't just developed a resistance to venom, it has fundamentally re-engineered the way its body perceives reality. Is it a creator that walks in a storm of agonizing toxins and feels nothing but the hunger for its next meal? It is a masterclass in neurological defenses, turning its a nightmare into a nuisance. No list of venom-proof titans would be complete without the undisputed king of biological subdonors, the honeybugger, Mellivora carnipes. Often cited as the most fearless animal in the world, the honeybugger has become a cultural icon for its complete lack of survival instinct. But behind the internet memes and the viral video of this creator charging lion and hyenas lies a physiological masterpiece of defensive engineering. The honeybugger doesn't just not care, it is biologically built to be an unstoppable tank that can walk through a minefield of the world's most lethal toxin and come out of the other side asking for seconds. The honeybugger's physics-breaking defense begins with its internal armor. Its skin is exceptionally thick, reaching up to 6 millimeters, nearly a quarter of an inch, around its neck. This hide is not only incredibly tough but also remarkably loose. If a predator of a venomous snake grabs hold of a honeybugger, the bugger can literally run around its own skin to bite back. This makes it nearly impossible to a snake fangs to find a stable drift or penetrate deep enough to the muscle to deliver a full envenomation. However, in the African savannas, even the thickest skin can eventually be break. The honeybugger frequently hunts some of the deadly snakes on Earth, including the puff adder and the cap cobra. During these high-stake battles, the barker is invariably beaten, often multiple times in the face and muscle. As almost any other mammal, the neurotoxin from a cobra would immediately bind the narcotic acetylcholine receptor in the muscle, blocking the signal from the brain and causing rapid respiratory failure and death. But with the honeybuckle, it has a secret weapon hidden in the molecular level. Evolution has gifted it with a specific mutation in this very receptor. The binding site where the cobra venom would normally latch on has been reshaped to the venom. The honeybuckle nervous system looks like a locked door with a broken keyhole. The toxin simply cannot find a place to grip, allowing the buckle nervous system to continue functioning even while its blood is saturated with enough venom to kill an elephant. The most famous display of this immunity is the venom napped. Researcher has filmed a honeybuckle being bitten by highly venomous snake, killing the snake, and then collapsing into what appeared to be a cold, lifeless state. To the observer, it looks like the buckle has finally met its end, but it is not death. It is a high-speed metabolic recovery. The buckle liver and immune system go into overdrive, processing the toxin with incredible efficiency. After a few hours of being venom drunk, the honeybuckle simply wakes up, shakes itself off, and finishes eating the very snake that just killed it. The honeybuckle proved that being a titan is as much about resilience as it is about offense. It has combined physical toughness with a molecular hack to create a creator that is functionally immune to the most feared chemical weapon in the natural world. It didn't just survive the world's deadliest toxin, it treated them as a mirror sedative before its next meal. In the vast, open savanna of sub-Saharan Africa, most birds of prey hunt from the safety of the sky, diving at terminal velocity to snag rodent or small birds. But the secretary bird, Sagittarius spantarius, is a different kind of assassin. Standing over 4 feet tall of steel-like legs, this bird prefers the ground, patrolling the tall grasses like a prehistoric dinosaur. Its primary targets are not helmet mice, but some of the most lethal reptiles on the planet, puff adder or cobras. While the other titans on our list rely on internal biochemistry to survive venom, the secretory birds use pure, unadulterated physics to ensure that the venom never ever enters its system. The physics-breaking brilliance of the secretory bird lies in its specialized stomp. When it encounters a venomous snake, the bird doesn't lead it with vulnerable face or chest. Instead, it engages in a high-speed dance of death, using its long, powerful legs as rheumatic pile drivers. The speed of this kick is almost incomprehensible. The secretary bird can deliver a strike from a standing position to the snake head in just 15 milliseconds. To put that into perspective, the blink of human eyes takes about 150 to 200 milliseconds. The burst is literally 10 times faster than a human blink. This speed is critical because it is faster than the strike speed of most venomous snakes, a cobra or a viper, despite being known for their lightning-fast lunges, simply cannot reach in time to avoid the incoming blow. The secretary bird's kick delivers a force of about 195 newtons. For a bird that weighs only about 4 kilograms, this is equivalent to hitting the neck with 5 times its own body weight. It is the biological equivalent of a professional heavyweight boxer hitting the target with the force of a sledgehammer, concentrated into a small surface area of a taloned toe. The impact is designed, for one thing, total structural failure. The force of the kick instantly shatters the snake's skull or snaps its spine, paralyzing the reptile before it can even deploy its fangs. But the bird doesn't stop there. It is the master of defensive distancing. Its long legs are covered in thick, protective scales that act like a mold grave. If the snake does manage to strike, it often hits the scale, which contain very little blood flow and no vital organs, making it difficult for the venom to travel to the bird's core. Furthermore, the secretary bird uses its massive, eagle-like wings as a tactical decoy. While it kicks with one leg, it spreads its wings wide, flapping them to distract the snake and occur its own vital silhouette. To the snake, the birds appear as a confusing, shifting walls of feature and movement, making it nearly impossible to land a precise strike on the bird's body. The secretary birds prove that in the world of venom-proof titans, the best defense is a superior offense. It doesn't need a super liver or mustard blood protein because it has mastered out the art of the pre-imperative strike. It is the high-speed executioner that has turned the world's most feared snake into a helpless, broken mess before they even realize the fight has begun. In the evolutionary theater of North America, the Virginia opossum, Dilophosis virginiana, is often unfairly dismissed as a slow winter scavenger of all blackbird nurses. But beneath its scuffy fur and his heavy dementia lies one of the most sophisticated biochemical laboratories in the animal kingdom. While other titans might rely on thick skin or high-speed kick, the opossum has developed a molecular eraser. It's a creature that can be beaten repeatedly by a diamondback rattlesnake, taking enough venom to kill several grown men, and simply walk away to finish its meal. The physics-breaking brilliance of the opossum is found in a tiny, chain-like molecules in its blood called peptide. Most venomous snakes, particularly pit viper, use a shotgun approach to killing. Their venom is a complex slurry of protein, enzyme, and toxin designed to do multiple things at once: melt tissue, stop blood from clotting, and collapse the nervous system. For most mammals, this multi-front chemical war is impossible to win, but the opossum doesn't try to fight every toxin individually. It targets the foundation of the venom itself. Scientists have discovered that the opossum's blood contains a specific protein called LTNF, lethal toxin neutralizing factor. This protein acts like a specialized magnet. The moment snake venom enters the opossum bloodstream, the LTNF molecules swarm the toxin. They bind so tightly to the venom active site that the toxin becomes chemically inert, effectively erased before they can even reach a vital organ. It is so effective that the opossum is immune not just the snake in its own neighborhood, but to nearly every pit viper in the Western Hemisphere, and even some species from other continents that it has never encountered in the wild. What makes this molecular eraser even more incredible is its efficiency. In laboratory tests, researchers isolated the first 11 amino acids of these opossum peptides and found that even this tiny fragment was enough to neutralize a lethal dose of venom in mice. This has sparked a revolution in medical research, as scientists are now looking at the opossum as the key to creating a universal antivenom for humans, a single shot that could save liver regardless of which made by the victim. But the opossum isn't just a passive recipient of this gift, it is an active predator. Knowing it is functionally invisible to the snake chemical sting, the opossum will go out of its way to hunt and consume venomous snakes. It is a slow, methodical killer. It doesn't need the lightning-fast reflexes of a bird or the aggressive attackers. It simply relies on the fact that the snake's primary weapon is useless. The snake strike, the venom enters, and the molecular erasure goes to work, turning a lethal encounter into a one-side buffet. The Virginia opossum proved that, in the words of the venom-proof titans, the most powerful weapon isn't a fang or a claw, it's a protein. It's a living shield, a creator that has solved the riddle of the world's most complex poisons with a single, elegant molecular key. At the pinnacle of our venom-proof titans stand a creature that has been immortalized in literature and folklore as the ultimate nemesis of the snake, the mongoose, Herpetides. While many animals on this list possess a single, powerful defense, the mongoose is a dual threat warrior. It is the perfect marriage of physical agility and biochemical invincibility. In the high-stakes duel of the Indian or African wilderness, the mongoose doesn't just survive encounter with king cobras and black mambas. It hunts them with a cool, calculated ferocity that has made it a symbol of lethal precision. The physics-breaking brilliance of the mongoose begins with its reaction time. A king cobra is capable of striking in less than 50 milliseconds, a speed that makes it invisible to most mammals. But the mongoose is faster. Its musculoskeletal system is tuned for explosive, twist fiber movement, allowing it to dance just millimeters outside the reach of the snake fangs. It uses thick, bushy fur as a tactical decoy. When the snake strikes, it often hits a mouthful of hair rather than the mongoose's body. However, in a fight with a cobra, even a 99% success rate in dodging isn't enough. One graze, one accidental nick, and the fight should be over. This is where the mongoose deploys its molecular shield. Most neurotoxic snakes, like cobra and mambas, killing using alpha neurotoxin. These toxins are shaped like a three-fingered hand designed to grab onto the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor in the victim's muscle. Once the toxin grabs the receptor, it blocks the signal from the brain to the lungs. The victim remains conscious and becomes paralyzed, eventually dying the respiratory failure. It is chemical lock that shuts down the engine of life. But the mongoose had changed the lock. Through millions of years of hunting cobras, the mongoose has evolved a specific mutation in the DNA sequence of its acetylcholine receptor. It has added the bulky sugar molecules, a carbohydrate, to the exact spot where the snake neurotoxin needs to bind. To the cobra venoms, the mongoose nervous system is puzzled with a missing piece. The toxin physical cannot latch on because the sugar molecules act as a biological bumper, bouncing the poison away before it can do anything damage. This is not just a resistance, it's a functional immunity. A mongoose can be bitten by a cobra that carries enough venom to kill 15 grown men, and it will continue to fight as if nothing happened. This biochemical advantage gives the mongoose a psychological edge. Knowing it is essentially poison-proof, it can stay in fight, relentlessly tiring the snake out until it finds the perfect moment to deliver the single, soul-crushing bite to the back of the snake's head. The mongoose is the no-one titan because it has mastered every level of the arm race. It has the speed to avoid the strike, the fur to mask is vital, and the genetic hack to ignore the world's most potent neurotoxins. It's a creator that has taken the most feared weapon in the natural world and turned it into a useless chemical byproduct. In the theater of the wild, the mongoose is the ultimate proof that no matter how deadly the poisons, evolution can always find a way to make it just a snack. We have seen the speed readers, the pain hikers, and the molecular erasers. From the deserts of California to the plains of Africa, these 7 venom-proof titans have proven that in the game of survival, being the deadliest isn't enough. You have to be the most resilient. This creator reminds us that evolution is a constant game of move and counter-move. For every new toxin a snake develops, there is a mammal or a bird working on a new shield. It is a silent, microscopic war that has been going on ends, and today we have met the champions who are currently winning. Which of these immunity superpower blew your mind? Would you rather have the venom snap of a honeybugger or the molecular shield of the mongoose? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more of nature's most incredible survivals, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us dive deeper in the materials of the wild. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay fearless, and we will see you in the next episode where we explore the top 7 natural architects, the world's most incredible animal builders. Until next time, remember, what doesn't kill you, it usually just becomes lunch.